What is going on, guys? We are back winter truck camping once again. We are out on Mille Lacs. We are going to be doing 72 straight hours of fishing. Only time there won't be lions in the water is if I need to move. That will be the only time. We already have a tip up out over there fishing, so we are just finishing getting things set up. I got the portable set up, got the truck parked, and got a little path for myself. Got the snowmobile trailer. We got it all for this trip. So we are going to be fishing all night. We're going to have a tip up and a sucker down in the shack. We are going to go over my setup for that, how I'm going to keep things from freezing. We're going to go over some bait. We're going to go over some locations. But anyways, before that, hopefully we can get some fish. Otherwise, we'll be back. So we'll be back with either fish or some info. All right, quick update for you guys. No fish, unfortunately. We had one flag pop. It had dropped it by the time I got there, which happens every once in a while, not too often. Marked a few fish on the graph. I jigged for, I don't know, an hour or two. Probably more like an hour and a half. Saw some fish, but they were not fired up. And we're not too interested, so put the other line down, and I'm getting ready for bed or just to hop in the truck. So where I'm at, I'm on a big expansive gravel flat way out in the lake, or at least a few miles out off of most of the shoreline structure. So around this area it's 30 to 35 feet, main basin of the lake, and it comes up to about 25 to 27 feet on this gravel flat, and I'm sitting on a little hump complex. There's two little humps next to each other that top out at about 20 feet. I'm sitting in about 21 feet of water right now, so a little bit deeper than where I normally would do this at night, but I'm just gonna try this out for this night. I wanted to try out here, so I'm gonna try it tonight here, and then tomorrow during the day around this gravel flat, and if we have no luck, then I can move in for the next 2 nights and day and a half, and it's not that big a deal. Anyways, for the setup for these tip-ups, I mentioned in my last video that I made these myself. So basically, if you can see this on the bottom, they are an HT rigger, and they broke because when things get cold and you have a snowmobile and you're pulling stuff, things just break. If it's made of plastic, it's going to break when it gets cold. So what I did was basically copy the design, but made the trigger system out of metal, just some nuts and bolts there, the alligator clip. I'll show you more about that when I'm setting it up. This flag pops in and out, so I can just stick it right in there. And for the rod holders, I just made PVC ones. They had like nice rod holder type ones, but they're made of plastic, so they just break off. So I did this and drilled a hole in the board to put it in there. Okay, now to getting this all rigged up. First, I'm going to show you kind of what I got for bait here. I'm going with a pretty large sucker tonight. As you can see, that is quite a big one, about a 7.5 incher. I like going with these big baits at night because, you know, I just want to get a big fish. I don't want to be waking up all the time with small ones, so I just go with a big sucker like this. This is kind of on the big side, but I'm gonna try it out and see what happens. So this is basically how it sets up. Pretty simple, rod in the rod holder. I just have a string right here that it's kind of like a safety, just hooks on and holds it in there in case anything funky happens, just so I don't lose the rod. But anyways, this is a pretty simple system. You just hook this line just barely down in the alligator clip, like so. Put the flag underneath the bolt, and when something takes it, it's gonna flip that up and then it pulls the line out. Hopefully you could see that well, but if not, I'll show it again on a different video. Okay, now on to the important stuff. For making sure that this wakes me up and I know what's happening at night, I have these blue tips. These are Bluetooth tip-up indicators. they send an alert to my phone, and they light up. So I have the truck so close to the shack that I can look out the window and look through the back window of the shack, and I can see this light. If it's in here flashing, it'll be very easy to see. So if I wake up during the night, that'll work. And also it has a Bluetooth to my phone, so I turn it on, and when it tips up, see if it works. Yep, as you can see, fish on tip up 1, and that'll definitely wake me up there. These do not go super far, so if you're thinking about getting these and you're a guy that sets tip ups really far away, that's not going to work for you. Honestly, the light will work, but as far as alerting your phone, it's not, because they only go about 100 feet, which isn't too far, but for a lot of situations, that's all you need. Now, the other issue we're gonna have during the night here is the hole freezing up. It's supposed to get to -12 tonight, so this thing's gonna freeze up pretty quickly once I leave, but I have a little way to help alleviate that, and that is, one, the hole cover, but that is not as good as this. So I have a few of these little USB aerator pumps. There's a USB plug-in, and I have a battery bank here that you would just use for your phone or whatever. This is kind of just a random one I have, and you plug this into this, and it is going, and as you can see, it is aerating. So I'm just gonna stick that in there like that for most of the night with this on here, just to hold it exactly where I want it. Put that down, and now that is in the water, and that is aerating. There's gonna be bubbles in that hole the whole night, and the hole is not gonna freeze, so this can easily be pulled out by the fish. And this battery, I'm just gonna set up over here in the shack somewhere. That's not really too important, but this system I'm hoping is gonna work really well for me. I hope to do a few more trips like this where I do this nighttime thing, because I tend to get a lot of my bigger walleye bites at night, and this is just gonna help me out. All right, so we got this all set up. We're gonna hop in the truck, watch a movie and chill, and then fall asleep eventually, and hopefully we'll be woken up during the night by this. I think this system is going to work really well. If you have any more questions on it, just leave a comment, ask, and I'll do my best to answer it, or go over it again in another video. So hopefully we'll be back with a fish. Boys, just hopped out of the truck. We got a flag here, so hopefully we got a fish. I'll get this all set up, and then we'll see if we can get a good hook set on this thing. Oh, all right, got the heater going, and our hole is completely open still. This aerator is working awesome, and it's cold. I mean, it's about 11:30 now. I haven't gotten to sleep yet. I was actually just about to go to sleep, so. Fish on, fellas. It actually doesn't feel that big. Oh, now he's fighting. Now he's fighting. Barely hooked, holy cow. Guys, you guys saw the size of that sucker? That's the size of the fish. That sucker was pretty dang big. And I mean, that's about a 20-inch, maybe 20-inch fish. Let's throw him on the bumper real quick. So he is 20 inches exactly, that big old sucker minnow, and we got a 20-inch walleye. But hey man, I'll take it. Let's get this guy back. And a nice and easy right back. So nice little excitement here at 11. So, you know, hopefully we can get a few more tonight. I'm gonna set, and that was a big old sucker, and that was not that big a fish. So I'm gonna put on another one, probably just a bit smaller than that sucker, but we'll be back hopefully with another fish later tonight. Boys, I'm scrambling. We got the phone going off. We got a fish tripped the flag. Oh, we've had 2 or 3 false ones, so it's freaking cold out. Holy crap. Alright, boys, we got a runner here. He is taking line. I'm gonna let him tighten it up himself, and then I'm gonna give her a little hook set here. Fish on. Doesn't feel that big, but who the heck knows? Crap, he took a lot of line. Oh, he's a real nice one. Oh yeah. Yes. That is a pretty good one. He's not a giant, but I mean, that's a real nice fish. Look at that head on him with the bump. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick measurement. So 23.5, that's a really nice one. Not huge, but looks like a pretty good sized male there. So we're gonna let this bad boy go. See if we can get a good little release here. See ya. Well, that's fish number 2. We had also 3 trips that just didn't get fish on. I actually had one that I came out here, there was no fish on there, pulled it up, put the flasher down, dropped the minnow back down, and a fish instantly came up. I saw it on the flasher and drilled the minnow. So I let it take line, and then when I reeled up, there was nothing on it. So I don't know if he hit it and just got the minnow right off. I mean, I put no pressure on him at all, so not really sure how that happened, but whatever, at least we got that one. So hopefully we'll be back with another fish. It's about 5:30 right now, so I actually had 3 trips in the last hour and a half, 2 hours, so maybe this morning bite is gonna be good for me here. Boys, we just got hit, and she is a runner. Been sitting here all freaking day with nothing to show for it. Not all day, it's just about 1 right now. So most of the day, not all day. She ran and she has stopped. This is a small sucker. Hooked up. Let's see. Feels like just another decent fish. which is seeming like that is all that's out here. Tripped flags with no fish on, and the fish I've caught. Think we are just getting into just good, healthy, mid-sized walleyes. Nothing huge, so we are gonna move pretty soon here. Yeah, that is just your nice eater size, perfect eater size. Obviously can't keep this size here. Mille Lacs, you can actually keep one walleye here this year, one between 21 to 23 inches or 1/28. Obviously this is about a 16-17 inch or so. He goes back. Alright guys, we are in the truck right now. We moved spots. It's actually about 8:30 at night, so I moved up to a shallower area. I'm in about 15 feet of water off a rock pile right here next to me. Lots and lots of rock in this whole area around me. I actually had 3 fish pop flags. One was the old situation like I had in the last video where I was walking up and the flag went. Well, this time I walked up and I was breaking the skim ice, and as I'm breaking the ice, a fish hits it, takes it. I had that fish on for about 5 seconds and it popped off, unfortunately. Felt like a decent fish too, not huge, but definitely kind of the size we're looking for, so that sucked to lose that. But anyways, the other 2 were just they grabbed the sucker, ran with it, and then dropped it. So that's kind of been the story of this trip so far. Lots of fish just pulling the sucker out and running a little ways with it and then just dropping it. So I don't know exactly why that's happening. It might be because I'm using larger suckers, but I am using small suckers too, like much smaller ones, about 1/3 of the size of those big ones, and those aren't even getting bit. So it seems like they want the big suckers, but they're not fully committing to them. But anyways, this video, I don't want it to get too long, so we're gonna actually break this video up either into 2 parts or maybe 3 parts, because like I said, we're going for 72 hours. The first about, I don't know, 30 hours are coming to a close here, so we're gonna finish the video here. If you like this short little video, I know it was only a few fish, which sorry about that, sucked, but I try to put more info about the tip up and my setup here, like what I'm doing to be able to fish all night in this. But the rest of the videos in this series will definitely have more fish, so if you like this one, that helps me out a lot. If you want to subscribe. Otherwise, as always, do whatever the heck you want. We'll see you in part 2.